Welcome to the Prime Real Estate Network channel on YouTube. I'm your host, Mr. Prime Real Estate, Ric Davis.
And I'm your host, the Texas Real Estate King, LarryWBrooks.
Every week, the King and I will provide you exclusive access to our network of lenders, investors, and real estate professionals from both the commercial and residential real estate sectors.
Now, are you millionaire minded? Or maybe you're a millionaire in the making. Make sure that you subscribe so you can get connected to the network. And always remember, the Prime Real Estate Network, where millionaires are in the making.
Create wealth for generations.
What's up, Prime Real Estate Network listeners? It's your man, LarryWBrooks, a.k.a. the Texas Real Estate King. Hey, when you get a moment, go ahead and go over to shoplwb.com. You can see the Pure Hustle merchandise that we have over there, some of our newer items that we have in stock, and of course, I got all the books that I've authored. I'd love for your support. You have a great day.
Welcome to the Prime Real Estate Network podcast. I'm your host, Ric Davis. If you don't follow me on social media, I invite you to do so at Prime Real Estate Ric. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in residential or commercial real estate anywhere in the great state of Texas, but especially here in our lovely city of Houston, you can reach me directly on Instagram at Prime Real Estate Ric. As always, it's an honor and a pleasure to be here with you this week, just like it is every week here on the Prime Real Estate Network podcast. Man, we have a really exciting episode planned for you all. So I urge everyone, text, DM, go to the person in the cubicle next to them, have them share the link, have them tap in, because today's episode of the Prime Real Estate Network podcast are going to provide you with a beginning to ending blueprint of how to transition from being a professional to transitioning into the entrepreneurial world and becoming a business owner. So this is one of those episodes. If you're looking to make a transition for the betterment of you and your family, this is an episode you want to pay close attention to. Without any further ado, I'd like to introduce my co-host. He is not only a highly successful real estate broker, he's a multi-time author, serial entrepreneur, and the proud proprietor of the Pure Hustle clothing brand. I want to thank him again for sitting in with us every week here on the show. And I'd like to introduce the Texas Real Estate King, Mr. Larry.WBrooks. What's going on?
What up, man? I ain't got no complaints, Rick. Just, another day, another episode. I think we're looking at 232 Prime Real Estate Network.
Hey, man, and then, as always, man, this is one of those special episodes because today is what we like to call the Red Light Special.
Red Light Special, man. No doubt about it.
These are one of those episodes where we get to open up not only our archive of professional entrepreneurs and business owners, but the audience gets to have a little insight into me and your personal background, some of the upbringing and some of those talented professionals that we were brought up with that helped us to expand and grow and become the business owners and entrepreneurs that we are. So, first thing, man, how has your week been going? How's everything in the world of the Texas Real Estate King and Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm?
Yeah, man, things have been good. No complaints at all, man. We still, going out, training and coaching and getting people going when it comes to the residential side of real estate here at Brooks and Davis. I hadn't had a chance to speak on it in detail, but I am actually deep into the commercial side of this thing now. Got my own hands back into this real estate game, focused on nothing but commercial. Over with RELOCATING Realty and Advisory. So that's a 100% commercial firm over there, man, just doing amazing things in the city. Excited. The team over there has over 37 years worth of experience of just commercial. Currently got several properties that they're getting that are being leased out that we're in charge of. And so I'll be getting those on the platform so people know. But I'm excited, man. One day, one of these shows want to dedicate to me just talking about this new journey.
No, and just briefly, because for those in our audience that weren't aware of this transition, could you just speak to how big a deal it is for someone like you with over 20 years of experience in residential to get your hands back in the soil and cultivate new business in a commercial real estate sector, and how that newness is something that's kind of got you excited and kind of flipped your switch, man.
It's crazy. It's exactly like you said, though. It's a newness to it. It's a different different genre when it comes to real estate. A lot of times people in real estate, they just think you can do each and everything, and it's not like that. Like commercial real estate is a totally different kind of people like to use the term animal or beast and things like that. So this is a different journey for me. The terminology that we use, the acronyms that we use are different on this side of the fence, but it's been exciting, you know. And the thing is that because I've built something before, I know what it's supposed to look like when you're sitting with a team, right? And so over there, with the commercial firm, I'm with a team. So it's not just, you know, Larry's 20 years worth of real estate experience and being a broker, but it's my now 37 years with this brokerage firm that is been focused on commercial, not only here in the Houston area, but Atlanta, New York, like seasoned in other areas of the country, and is amazing at what it is. So, you know, I'm excited because, you know, when people get to me, they want to get their commercial real estate needs met. They're not just getting myself, they're getting a team with 37 plus years worth of experience of closing transaction, doing business. Matter of fact, even before, you know, joining them, all of my commercial transactions I would come in contact with, I would send them in their direction. So I had already built the foundation of trust by sending my clients that had grown into an area where they needed commercial needs, sending them in that way, bro.
Nah, man, and I want to congratulate you because when you have so much experience in a certain sphere of business, sometimes it can be it can add anxiety stepping out into something where people already know you have a reputation as a business person, but now you're stepping into an entirely new lane where you're learning some things and actually doing some transactions for the first time. So that type of thing, I think we all need to make sure all of you on again. We move forward because this is something I think a lot of real estate professionals could take advantage of, is watching you start and make those steps into establishing a commercial real estate brand as well as your residential real estate brand. So
hey,
I'm
you
really
know what,
excited
now
about
that you
that.
said it like that, that's
Everyone
definitely
here in the audience.
I think what I'm gonna do is come up with something that so people can watch this journey. So it's not just me talking to them. It's not just me. So I think I'm going to come up with something where people can actually watch this journey so that, you know, it's not just when you have someone talking to you about do this because I did it, do that because I did it. This journey, this commercial journey, you may want to follow me on this journey. Watch the systems that I'm being taught now and the way that I've taught other people how to be successful on the other end of things, how you know, getting in on this journey could how my journey is going to go, how I'm going to use the same skill sets, the same scripts that I teach and train people on how to use to explode their branding in their business. I think I'm going to come up with something so you guys can watch this journey. Yeah, I think I am.
You know, I would hope everybody can do that because we've had over 15 to develop the residential real estate brand, this real estate firm, and everything from that. Like, so watching you working and embarking on your commercial real estate journey, I'm sure it's something everybody will be able to take a lot of your expertise and a lot of your experience and add it to what it is that they already have as far as a toolbox. So, Larry, could you share with our audience a little bit about this week's guest, a little bit about our background, and how you were able to go about gaining a commitment from this gentleman to sit in with us on the pod?
Yeah. Well, man, this is family, man. You know, it's crazy because the gentleman that we have coming on at one point while we were in school together, he was my right-hand man, man. We road tripping. I was just showing some of my photo albums to my son, and it was a trip where we were actually in Baylor in Waco. And the only reason that came up is because we actually going down to Waco for this weekend. But we were in Waco, and it was just a picture of me and this guy, man. He was my wingman. He was my right-hand guy. And, you know, he's a brother of the Trey Club when it comes to music, and Stephen F. Austin, man. So, you know, I'm excited to have my guy on the show today. You know, hopefully we don't reminisce too much on y'all, but, man, let me say, this guy right here, K-Dub, man, like I was always calling his name, yelling his name around across the yard, sending him messages, and always catching up with my guy. So to have him on the platform today, man, is an honor and a pleasure. Just because I've been having the opportunity of watching this journey, and he's had a chance to kind of see us as well. But I'm just so proud of him, man. He's closing deals, and man, it's just let's man, come on.
Hey, look, any further ado, I'd like to introduce this week's guest. Is not only Vegas real estate rock star and entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Brooks mentioned he is a proud member of the Mu Sigma chapter of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. It is an honor and a pleasure to have him sitting in with us, Mr. Kory D. Walker. How you doing?
Yo, I'm good. How y'all brothers doing?
Hey, K-Dub.
Man, you talk about Baylor, man. You brought back some memories.
Hey, you remember that journey, man? Listen,
I remember that journey.
Hey, Rick, it's crazy. It's crazy because Rick always talk about how I was this dude that was taking photos and having photos and saving photos before that was a popular thing. But man, the beauty of it, K-Dub, is that I got pictures of you, the young K-Dub, the young Ric D, I got photos that's gonna last me a lifetime, and I always have these areas where I can reminisce of those times together, man. So it's crazy.
And the crazy part about it, I have a daughter that's about to be a freshman in college. So we done came a long way, brother.
Yes, we have.
We done came a long way. Just do me a favor. Just promise me you won't blackmail me.
I got you. Hey, listen. If any of that stuff, we both going down. That's how that.
Absolutely. That was great times, though. Great times. And one of the beauties about the bond is, it's been a while since we've actually been able to talk, but just to be able to come together and just like we were together yesterday, it's truly family. It's truly family. But man, those were some great times. Those were some really, really great times.
No doubt, K-Dub, man. Hey, so so let me see. You based in Vegas now?
I am in Las Vegas. I've been in Las Vegas since 2016. So just kind of give you an idea.
You know what? Before that, I think I overstepped, man. I need you to because Rick usually says this. Rick says, tell the folks that haven't had an opportunity to meet your brand from across the country. Please go ahead and give us a good introduction.
So
Rick overstepped my boundary. I got excited though, man. I get excited with these Music boys on here.
I get it. So just a little bit about myself, Kory Walker. Have a beautiful wife of 16 years, three beautiful kids. Have a background over a decade plus in education, and was licensed out in Texas as a real estate agent. Long time ago, I think you remember that. We were kind of trying to do some stuff with an REO person that I ran into. And just over the years, as I was mentioning to Rick, when my wife and I started to have a family, we just made the commitment that we wanted to be able to raise our children and not necessarily have to work to send them to somebody else to be there from 9 to 5 or whatever time. And that's really kind of how I transitioned out here. But I've been a mentor. I've been a coach in the Cedar Hill ISD and Arlington ISD back in Texas, and then for almost the past decade out here in Clark County School District in Las Vegas.
So you've been in the Vegas area, you say almost 10 years now?
Almost 10 years. It's been 8 years now that I've been in Las Vegas. And to be honest, this just kind of happened. It's kind of funny how God just kind of takes our lives and what we think is going to be one thing, it turns out to be another thing. But long story short, I ended up coming out here. My wife and I, we were going through an issue. We had a child that was a stillborn, and we just needed a change of scene.
Understandable, yeah.
Just tired of people, you're trying to move on, but people are, oh, how you doing? We're just not those kind of people. Hey, pick up the pieces, move on. Yeah. So we had looked into getting away, and obviously because of my background as a teacher and having a background as a math teacher, that being my specialty, there were a lot of different opportunities. And I just happened to stumble up, and when I say just happened, I just really happened to stumble up one day on the computer. They were having a webinar looking for teachers in Las Vegas, and long story short, started looking at criteria of what I needed if it was going to be some additional training or licensure I had to get, and just everything just fell into place. And I always tell this funny story. I was planning on coming out here to be a math teacher, and ended up they needed so many PE teachers. I was like, oh, this is easy money.
Yeah.
So
like, I'm going there. That's okay.
I was like, perfect. And we looked at everything. There were a lot of different places that needed teachers, but specifically here in Nevada, the biggest thing there's no state income tax here. So obviously moving from Texas to Nevada, that made sense versus, places like California, when you're moving from a no state income tax to a place where there's a state income tax, you're losing money before you look at it, you're losing money. So that was the first thing. The real estate was a little bit higher in terms of what we were used to paying back in the Metroplex of Dallas versus out here. But once you get out here, it's pretty comparable. But what they were really doing and are still doing is they give you reciprocity for your years of service. They also, when you and your spouse are teachers in the same district, which my wife was a long-term sub at one point, but you don't pay for health insurance. So that's a big kick. Yeah, and like I told Rick, I like to play the short and long-term game in terms of your financial security. So one thing being a teacher, I have my pension. I was like, shoot, I have a pension, and it's 100% funded by the state. So I was like, okay, so I'm gonna come out here. They're gonna help me with relocation. Yeah, I'm gonna get a cost of living increase. I'm gonna make more money, and the kicker, I only work from 7:30 to 11:30, and I'm a PE teacher.
But we got Rick back on here, man. We didn't got Rick squeezed back in here, man.
Thanks, Rick. But I'm. Yeah, and I use the education piece because I'm really big on helping people. I was at a point in my life like, man, what I want to do, what is it that I'm destined to do? Why am I here? And it just all come back to helping people. Even in real estate, being a real estate agent, meeting people that say, hey, I can't qualify for a house, I don't have no money, my credit bad, and telling them, hey, if you sit down, formulate a game plan. And it may not be tomorrow, it may not be next week, but I promise you, we'll get you into a profit. And to see that come to fruition, you get the same feeling that, again, as having a background as an educator, it's that same feeling when you sit in the classroom and you see that kid go, I got it. Like I really got it. And even, when I moved out here being, a varsity football coach, helping kids get to college, unlocking doors for them just by having a conversation with a coach. Like, hey, I'm not necessarily trying to get you to the NFL, but if I can unlock a door and show you that the world is much bigger than this neighborhood that you see every day, then that's fulfilling to me. I would do that all day for free.
Kory, I have to ask you because as a native of Dallas, a proud Carter High School alumnus, I'm gonna make sure you give a shout to all those Carter Cowboys out there.
Roll, baby.
The thing that's so inspirational.
Shout out to all my Carter Cowboys.
The thing that's so inspirational about your story, Kory, is how your transition has been so seamless into entrepreneurship and business ownership. A lot of times when people make a transition from one major metropolitan area to a new city, it takes a little bit longer for them to establish roots and get comfortable taking those chances and stepping out on faith. So for everyone in our audience who could use you as an example, could you just talk a little bit about how you made that transition from the classroom to entrepreneurship, to being a real estate business owner, to being a thriving realtor in a city as competitive as Las Vegas?
Right. Well, I think a lot of it, I tell people all the time, I'm still transitioning. I don't ever think that you can get to a place to where you are comfortable. I think you can be comfortable in what you're doing when you have a solid game of where you're going. But my first thing was, like I mentioned when I came here, I had a background again in real estate in Texas. I had some familiarity with so my thing was, okay, I'm gonna come out to Vegas. I'm gonna make more money, but my time is gonna be freed up. So instead of me being a math teacher, 7:30 to 5, 6 o'clock, grading papers, parent conferences, I'm the PE teacher. And we all know PE teacher, nobody's about to, So my time is freed up. And then what I started to do is I had a vision. I said, okay, I'm going to make this real estate thing work for me. So, and these are just some little nuggets if you're in a position like mine. So the first thing I started doing, I was like, okay, it takes nothing for me to print off material and put it in these teachers' mailboxes. You have a lender that has programs for teachers. Well, if I'm in a building with 237 people, that's 237 conversations I had the opportunity to have every day. Okay, that's the first thing. And because you are a teacher and you're there and people see your work with children and whatnot, you already have that they know that you're trustworthy. They know that
Right.
that you are a decent human being because they see your work. So from that, I started looking at, okay, well, that's here on campus. So then when, you get district emails where they have everybody's email address throughout the district. So what we gonna do is we might get a student A that's in a blowout class. We gonna copy and paste that. And if you're concerned about your face being put on it, if you have a lender that you can trust, that you have a good relationship with, you co-brand something and you funnel that business that way. Teachers know people, and at the high school level, believe it or not, the beauty of social media and with COVID, a lot of the kids, because of the influence of some of the hip hop personalities, they have become exposed to real estate investing and the how real estate builds wealth. So for them, it's like, oh, coach, you do houses. They may see, some marketing. I may buy a banner and put up at the baseball team so that it's just visible, and that's just really what it's all about. It's just marketing yourself as the individual for whatever it is that you want it to be and become knowledgeable. People say all the time, well, how are you a part-time real estate agent? Well, I'm not a part-time real estate agent. I'm a full-time real estate agent. So I may have to get up at 3:30 in the morning to start my day. But so be it, because at the end of the day, what I'm working for is the freedom of my time. I'm working to be able to say, hey, I don't want to do this, or be able to say, hey, I want to go and see my daughter, or just to be able to wake up and say, you know what, I need to relax, reset, and start over again. So, and even from that, avenue of being a teacher, I was just talking to a coach one day in the school building that was taking advantage of an early retirement incentive. He mentioned to me that he's going to take the retirement in Uber and make a certain amount of money. And I was like, Uber drivers don't make that kind of money. It's like in Vegas they do. And I looked into it and I was like, whoa, you really can make 6 figures with Uber?
In Vegas, they don't play, man. No doubt about it. They stay busy.
So my next transition,
they surging 100% of the time. I'm like, how y'all surge every time I'm in the city? The whole day.
Well, and shout out to the drivers that know you make you up some business cards and get them rides on the side and cut out off the that's another story.
Because one time I did have me a whole driver, the same guy the whole weekend, no doubt about it.
That's what you're supposed to do. So what I started to do, again, having the background of wholesaling and not knowing the city, I was like, not knowing the city, not knowing absolutely no one here. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get in this Uber and make some money and drive around while I learn the city. And then from that, I was like, okay, I'm seeing these burnouts, I'm seeing these dilapidated properties. I'm like, okay, now I know the wholesale side of the game, so let's start doing this. And then once I got the real estate license out here, then I just really turned it up another notch. You know, and I'm really starting to see some of the fruits of that labor, you know, in this season now. But I started Ubering, having business cards in the car with me. I started putting QR codes on the back headrest that's directing people to the websites. So, you know, if I'm giving 23 rides, well, I may spend 5 hours out of my day, but I done made $300-400, and I know I done had 23 conversations. And I had a good mentor, a mentor of mine that was like, "Hey man, get rid of them paper cards." So I started with just having those conversations with people in the car, and they were like, "Hey, you got a business card?" It's like, "Oh, well, I have a digital business card. What's your phone number? I'll text it to you." So now the database grows. And with it being in Las Vegas, you know, and again, you have to, your mind has to change in terms of when you're growing. So it's like, okay, you're not just a teacher. You're not out here driving. Everything you're doing is leading to real estate. And that's where I am now in the position where I am. You know, being a teacher, you have to have those communication skills where you're talking to administrators and you're talking to children that might be in special education. So you have to be able to have clear, concise communication, and that really helps in real estate, because a lot of my clients are first-time home buyers. They're individuals, they've never bought a home, so they don't understand that. Yes, you may have 100% financing, but you know, you still got to pay for appraisal, you still got to pay for an inspection. So it's those kind of things. But and I'm always looking to evolve. And one good thing about doing that, yes, you're making money, and yes, you're tying everything together, but I'm still at home by 6 o'clock to have dinner, because that's a commitment that I've made to my family. Okay. Also, you know, with doing that, you meet a lot of fascinating people from a lot of different walks of life out here in Las Vegas. And I mean, I've met some people. I come home sometimes and I tell my wife, like, man, I met this guy that he does X, Y, and Z, and I had no clue
that it was something like that even existed.
That it even existed. So you know, I just, you know, I stopped. One thing that, you know, when you're in a position like this, because I struggled at first, like, oh man, I have to hurry up and quit my job, and I have to do, like, you know, Realtor A that's over here, you know, doing $3 million a deal. No. For myself, it was, okay, what kind of heaven on earth am I trying to create for myself and my family?
That part. Yep.
And then from that, you take that and you put that plan down on paper, and you operate like those racehorses. You put those blinders on,
right? And
you say, hey, that's cool if you're doing this. If it's something that, you know, I can incorporate into my business or into my personal life that can help me grow as, you know, as a man, as a father, as a business person, then I can take that. But everything that you are exposed to is not meant for you to have to take and try to incorporate into your life in an instance and think, oh, you're going to take it. It's not that. You know, I always think about the story that we learned when we were in nursing school, the story of the tortoise and the hare.
Hey,
you know,
yeah.
That, you know, it wasn't until I got into my early 30s that I was like, man, I get that now. Like, stop chasing this hustle over here that's going to pay you a couple of dollars and build something, not just for yourself. You know, as African Americans, especially from my experiences in my family and people that I talk to, you know, we have to wait on a family member to die and inherit an insurance policy to have a little bit of wealth. And a lot of times we don't have the educational background, financial literacy or anything. So that goes just like that, you know, and I wanted something different. And again, my biggest thing was my time. You know, I have two daughters. Like I said, I have a daughter that's in college. And my wife and I have a 3-year-old son. So it's just my time, because at the end of the day, you know, when your time is up, what's going to matter is those people that see you every day, that you go to work, that you work hard for, and you know, those close family and members and friends, and that's what you do for. So
okay, Doug, let me ask you this: before you got into the process yourself, what was did you have a family member? Like, what gave you the itch of entrepreneurship? Like, where did that, usually we find that like there was somebody that stood out to you. Like, how did you end up on that journey of like, listen, I'm gonna get it here and I'm gonna get it here?
Well, I had several. I had a cousin, Julia Stearns, God rest his soul. He had been in the real estate game for probably 40 years in Dallas, and I remember growing up. I just liked the lifestyle that they had. People knew that Stearns name, but being able to have nice things and take nice trips and family being well taken care of. He was one that I really looked towards that really got me into real estate, interested in real estate. Funny or not, so my wife and I, we knew each other back in high school. And she had a cousin, Tanita Bailey. She was in the real estate game for a while, still is on the finance side. And crazy or not, she got me a job one summer in high school. And it was doing property management. I didn't have a clue on what I was doing. And I look back on it, I was really just like the person answering phone calls, getting chewed out by people, going to eviction. But same thing with her. And I remember her saying that you can never go wrong in real estate. And she had a background in teaching. And then my uncle James Johnson, he's a pastor, had 5 children, godly man. My aunt, when I say I never want to say that a woman doesn't have to work when she's at home with the children, because that is
it is a job too, no doubt about it.
But when I say that, physically having to go to a building and punch a time clock, and he did it. And his thing is, and one of the things that I've liked about him, kind of one of the things he preaches, there's no such thing as failure. If you go into something and you give it your all, you put God first, you give it your all. Well, if it doesn't turn out the way that you expected it to turn out, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's failure. It could be, something that delays success, not right now, but maybe later on. And it could just also, be something that's meant to say, hey, you know what, you're going to learn this lesson, but you keep on, you take the lesson from this, and, you put left in front of right in front of left, you keep going. And I think those are really the 3 most influential people in my life that I saw, entrepreneurs. My Uncle James, he worked in a steel mill 40 years. He's just now about to retire, but he's a pastor of a church. He's on a car wash. He's on a mechanic's garage. He's on the laundromat. And I've never heard him say that you can't do something. And that's my thing. So, I a lot of times I laugh when people say, "Oh, you can't do this and do real estate." Yes, you can.
Come on, you can do it now. And the crazy thing is the wisdom that you got behind it, because you said something earlier that hit home, like the way that you was like, hey, I'm around all these people, I could grab a few emails and this could start my lead generation, start the way that I start to build out my business and my opportunities. Because I remember, man, my first set of emails, bulk emails, were coming from whenever people would CC, I'd be like, you know what, these people could one day use real estate, edit, copy, and saved them and added them to a database that gave me an opportunity to get in front of them. So it's crazy.
Bro, I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you. Well, one of the things I started doing, I would even go onto other websites, put in my information to get information, and a lot of them, if they wasn't savvy enough, they put their whole list of emails. I'm like, oh, okay, here we go. I'm still evolving. I'm just one of those persons. I'm like, hey, find a way or make a way. I don't believe when I was coaching, I used to tell the kids all the time, where it can't doesn't exist, where it can. You just gotta find a way to make it happen. Might it take some sacrifice? Yeah, it takes sacrifice. Them times I don't like getting up, sometimes 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm doing it. And that's why I think why it has to be. Money can't equate into it. I tell some of the high schoolers that, like, when you think about your future, take money out the equation, because it's so easy to make an easy buck, taking an easy road out. But when you're really trying to establish something, and trying to establish something not just for your generation, but for the generations that's coming after you, then you know, because that's what I think about, you know. And again, I look at my dad, I look at my uncles, you know, they're in their 70s, 60, 70. They put in all that hard work. There was times they was like, hey man, I'm gonna make the bills, I'm gonna line this up, you know, I want to do this, but hey, delayed gratification. But now they're there, and the beauty about it is not only do they have success and they are experiencing their own personal success, but they are now in positions where they are just genuinely reaching out to other people, trying to help them to reach their dreams and their goals and their successes. And that's what's important. You know, I think about our time. You know, I think about our time when we were young. You know, we did foolish things.
Yeah.
You know, so to be in a position now to be able to give back, when I know in my personal life, you got friends that some of them are deceased, some of them locked up, and y'all walk the same path. Like it's nothing that you did that was better or so much more worthy than what they did, but you're still here and you're in a position to help. You know, that's rewarding. And then, oh, by the way, you do make a decent living, and you had the opportunity. Yeah, you had an opportunity to have a couple options here and there, so it's good.
Yeah,
it's good.
Yeah. Rick, I know you spent some time down there in Vegas, but you were finna say, go for it.
No, I wanted to ask Kory, because one of the great things about being able to have a brand and practice your real estate trade in a city like Las Vegas is that it's a global destination. So you meet people from all over, every continent on the planet Earth comes to Las Vegas for business, vacations, and the like. So Kory, from your experience, what opportunities can people in Houston, Dallas, Austin, San Antonio take advantage of as far as investing in Las Vegas real estate? What have you seen that your clients have been taking advantage of, and what niches in the market do us, Larry and I, sitting in Texas may not necessarily see that you see every day in Vegas?
Well, the biggest thing. So the Vegas market is very unique. We get an influx of buyers coming from California, especially during, I think COVID kind of ramped that up, because now with people being able to work from home or work remotely or a hybrid situation, you know, they come in. But the biggest thing that I saw was the Airbnb short-term rentals.
Yep.
That was huge out here. Now, you know, single-family properties, condos, even high-rises. But there has been some changes within the last couple of years with the county concerning Airbnb. And Vegas is unique. So you know, Rick, you were out here. Out here, the hotel tourist industry is the economy. So
they got lobbyists. Them boys gonna fight.
Absolutely, they do. So you have to understand that, you know, when the Airbnb model first rolled out, you know, this is people that's just basically getting free money under the table. Like that's just no different than me, hey, selling you money to stay at your house. So one thing that the county started doing is they started putting different policies into place, restrictions on Airbnb usage. Okay, so some of the things like having one Airbnb in proximity to another Airbnb, having a homeowner, the actual property owner present, doing the short-term rentals. Now, obviously, you know, there's some owners that choose to do what they want to do. You know, I'm just here to educate them, but the Airbnb sector is huge. Another big sector is, you know, on the multifamily side, and I'm talking in terms of, so we out here in the desert. There's a lot of, believe it or not, when you come to Las Vegas, you're mainly focused on the Strip, Fremont Street, but when you actually get out, there's a lot of land that's still here, and you can see a lot of the development that's pushing further and further on out. So some investors, what they're doing is they're actually buying property, who are buying land and then developing multifamilies. Because again, when you're in a place like you have where you have a housing shortage like you do, then one thing that can help solve that, you know, if you are an investor, is, hey, you go and purchase your land, get a piece of land, you get your duplex, fourplex built on it. You know, you get that thing rented out, refinance it, put a little cash in your pocket, and you go on to the next one. So that's really what I'm seeing. We do. So the home prices here is just like it is in a lot of major cities across the U.S. You know, there's a shortage in inventory. So, you know, just basic economics, whenever there's, you know, low supply and high demand, you know, the price of it is going to increase. We've seen it dip from, you know, where it was at its peaks because of, you know, the interest rates or whatnot. But the biggest thing that I saw in terms, and still see in terms of real estate investing from outside individuals, and I mean, you know, individuals not even in the States per se, is, you know, the short-term rentals. And it makes sense. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. You know, if you're a person that, you know, you're coming to Vegas often, now that, you know, conventions and conferences and stuff are opening up, you know, you're in Vegas 3, 4, 5 times out of the year. You know, what I was advising clients that I was talking to was like, hey, why not go ahead and be making you some money before you get to Vegas? And then when you get to Vegas, you got a place to lay your head. And then when you leave, you're gonna put some more money in your pocket. You know, it was just a no-brainer. And here's one of the good things about you know, real estate investing out in here on the West Coast, specifically in Las Vegas, with the growth that we're seeing. You know, the property appreciations are crazy. And I'm talking, you know, you're seeing people getting 10-12% increases in their equity in a year.
Wow.
And that's just because of what's happening. And again, there's a lot of factors that play into that. You have buyers coming from California that are selling their home out there for 2 times what they're going to pay out here, and they don't mind paying, you know, $30,000, $20,000 over, because, you know, they're still pocketing, you know, thousands of dollars from the sale in California. Just here recently, you know, just following the news, we've had just in the last, since I've been out here, we've had the Golden Knights hockey team has come out here. We have the Aces, the Raiders. Just here recently, they've approved the stadium being built on the Vegas Strip, on the Tropicana.
On the Tropicana, yeah, I saw that yesterday. I was on YouTube and saw that yesterday. They're gonna build it right where the Tropicana is.
For the Oakland A's. I don't know if you all have been following some of the rumors and everything, but there's already some pretty much a done deal, but kind of under the table with the NBA expanding out here. Now, I'm not saying to any listeners that I know any inside information. I don't. I'm just watching what's happening. But you see money moving in from investors where we're talking about stadium development, movie production studios moving out here. I know Matt Damon recently moved out here, and he has a production studio or something going on. So just seeing a lot of the growth and just seeing what Las Vegas is becoming. When you're investing in Las Vegas, you're not talking about just a short-term investment. You're talking about short and long-term. So if you want to talk about investing in the market, 877-644-4001. I love to talk to you about it.
Matter of fact, Noob, give it to them again. Give them where they can find you, man. Give them your social media handles, your website, whatever you need for them to find you. Give it to them right now for us.
Absolutely. So I'm really old school. As I told Rick, I'm learning on this social media stuff. I got high school kids teaching me. So look out, shout out for that. But best way, contact me by phone, toll free 877-644-4001. You can email me at Kory, Kory, Walker. So Kory.Walker@exprealty.com. You can also find me on the web, www.LasVegasPrimeRealEstate.com. LasVegasPrimeRealEstate.com. You can check me out there. It has all my social media handles. We got a lot of content that we've been doing behind the scene, and we finally are going to branch on out a little bit. Like I told you, it's always about evolving. So I was kind of behind on this social media stuff, man. But hey, I don't want to be behind. You know, I don't want to be my mom calling me because she put the DVD in upside down saying, hey, why it's not working?
It's not working.
So,
no doubt about
but
it.
yeah, but life is good. You know, I would tell anybody that's looking for a change, if you can deal with the heat, it's a dry heat.
Yeah.
But if you are in, you know, a similar position as myself, especially for educators, you can really come out here and have multiple streams of income, and have your time. And what I like to say is a more relaxed environment. I think Vegas is different. It's not wild and crazy like a lot of people think it is, because they only experience one part of it when they come out on vacation. But you know, a lot of outdoors, great people. There's a lot of diversity out here in the city. Great golfing, a lot of outdoor adventure, and great real estate deals that I'd love to show you. Some really great real estate deals.
No doubt about it. All right, what, Rick? You got anything else?
No, man. I want to thank Kory so much for sharing his story, talking a little bit about his journey, because there are so many members of our audience that are probably sitting in a similar position that you were sitting in maybe 5, 10, 15 years ago. And I hope hearing your story gives them that incentive and that motivation they need to get out, to take their future by the neck and start to define how they want their future to unfold, as opposed to just taking what comes and rolling with the punches. So I want to thank you so much, man. If you ever here in the city, we'd love to have you stop by and hang out with us again. If we ever in Vegas, we're going to have to do something with you out there, man. So thank you so much, Kory, for tapping in with us. And anytime you'd like to sit back in, man, please just give us a holler.
I appreciate y'all, bro. I appreciate the invite. I appreciate y'all guys for having me. And I'm glad we can reconnect. And we're definitely going to be in contact much more. You got your Vegas Connect. So when you're out here, I tell people, if you come out here and I don't at least hear from you, then I'm going to unfriend you.
No,
but I'm just joking. I know how it is. But seriously, God bless y'all and y'all family. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate the opportunity.
No doubt about it. Hey, man, we love Detroit Club, man. Just listen, I'm going to have to send you some of them photos that we got, man. I got a plethora of us together, man, having an amazing time. Just some of them, man, just so you can see what I see, man. So I appreciate you, bro. I love you. Thank you for always picking up my call or my message when I reach out to you, man. That's important. So appreciate
love y'all. Yep. Love y'all. Appreciate it, brothers.
Appreciate it, man. No doubt.
Nope.
Man, what's up? Hey, man, I want to appreciate you. I want to thank Mr. Kory Walker so much for his time. I want to thank the Texas Real Estate King, man, for setting up that interview, man. It was outstanding. It's great to hear how the city of Las Vegas is bouncing back after the pandemic, because you and I both know, man, the pandemic affected a lot of areas profoundly, and Las Vegas was one of those areas that were affected. So it's good to see that the real estate, the market, and the business is bouncing back. Man, look, Mr. Brooks, anything you want to share with the audience about what you got going on this weekend, man, where they might can meet, greet, and interact with the Texas Real Estate King?
I always ask you if you need to catch up with me. I always go to the Texas Real Estate King Instagram page. I'm always posting, keeping you enlightened on what's going on. But more or less, if there's any needs that you have when it comes to commercial, we're looking to help businesses grow. We're looking to help businesses find an opportunity to have great success. So please feel free to reach out to me. You have my contact information. My number has been the same for 25 years. So I am accessible at that same contact information as well.
Hey, man, appreciate it, man. I want to thank Mr. Brooks. I want to thank Mr. Kory Walker. I want to thank everyone over at Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm. And most importantly, I want to thank our super producer, Jay Joseph. On behalf of myself and the Texas Real Estate King, Mr. Larry W. Brooks, we urge everyone, stay in the know, stay connected, reach out, inbox, DM, email. We're here for you 24/7, 365. And until next week, everyone in the audience, please be safe and be blessed.